All right, so welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready. Let's get into it.
Okay, so this one today, it comes from the AIDB newsletter, and it's from March 17, 2025, so pretty recent stuff.
Oh, yeah. This is hot off the presses.
Right, and it's about this new AI. Well, it's not exactly new, I guess, but it's causing a real stir online. This AI can actually remove watermarks from images.
No way. Really?
Yeah. And not just like a blurry mess either. It can completely erase them like they were never even there.
Wow. So wait, is this like just taking the watermark off, or is it like reconstructing the image?
It's actually reconstructing the image, often even upscaling it, making it even better quality than the original.
Hold on. That's kind of huge, isn't it? I mean, talk about implications.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today.
All right, I'm hooked. Lay it on me.
So the AI doing all this is Google's Gemini 2.0 Flash model.
Gemini, huh? So like the next generation of their AI stuff.
Yep. And it's still, officially at least, in this experimental phase, mostly accessible through Google's own AI studio.
Okay, so it's not like widely available then. That's good, I guess, considering.
Well, that's the thing. It's experimental, but it's out there and it works like really well. And that's kind of the problem.
Right, yeah, I can see that. The potential for, well, misuse is kind of obvious.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. We see watermarks everywhere online, right? Photos, artwork, all sorts of digital content. It's how creators try to protect what they make.
Absolutely. It's like proof of ownership in the digital world, basically.
Right. So an AI that can just erase that, that's a big deal. It challenges the whole concept of copyright.
Yeah, and it's interesting, right? Because other AI models, like you have Anthropic's Claude 3.7 Sonnet and OpenAI's GPT-4o, they're actually designed to like refuse to remove watermarks.
Yeah, they have that built-in ethical code. They won't do it. But Gemini doesn't seem to have those limitations.
Which is kind of wild, considering Google's, resources and their reputation. You'd think they'd be leading the charge on AI ethics, or at least be a little more careful.
Well, and that's where this gets really controversial. Because in a lot of places, including the US, removing a watermark without permission, that's straight up illegal. Copyright infringement, you're violating the DMCA. It's a big no-no.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. DMCA takedowns are a real thing.
So when Google comes along and releases this tool, this powerful tool, that can basically bypass all of that. I mean, it's understandable that people are freaking out, right?
Definitely. The newsletter mentioned all the chatter on platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Reddit. Everyone's going nuts. Artists, photographers, lawyers, everybody's weighing in.
And a lot of them are worried. Worried about their livelihoods, the future of copyright. I mean, if anyone can just take your work, remove your watermark, and claim it as their own, what's to stop them?
And it throws a wrench into the whole legal system, too. We have all these laws built around copyright and the DMCA, but what happens when AI can just ignore them?
It's definitely a bit of a gray area, Google calls it experimental.
Yeah.
But then they also have these warnings that pop up.
Oh, really? What kind of warnings?
Like, if you try to use the feature outside of AI Studio, you get a message about the legality of removing watermarks, basically reminding you not to do anything illegal.
Interesting. So they're kind of acknowledging the potential for misuse, but not actually, like, stopping it?
Yeah, it's almost like they're saying, hey, here's this really cool tool, just don't do anything bad with it, okay? But it's still out there,
That's a tricky one, for sure. Raises a lot of questions about responsibility, doesn't it? Like, are they doing enough to prevent people from abusing this technology? Or are they just trying to avoid blame later on by saying, oh, but it was just experimental?
Yeah, I mean, if it's so potentially harmful, why even release it at all, right? At least in its current form.
Right, exactly.
And it's not just the legal side of things either.
No.
Think about the implications for creative work in general.
Oh, absolutely. That's the big one, isn't it?
If watermarks become basically useless, how do creators protect themselves? Do we need like entirely new ways to prove ownership?
It's almost like we need better watermarks now, right? Ones that AI can't just wipe away.
Yeah, or maybe some kind of, I don't know, digital signature embedded in the image itself.
Ooh, interesting idea. Like blockchain technology for images.
Something like that, yeah. But who knows what that would look like?
And that's what's so fascinating about this whole thing, right? It's like we're in uncharted territory here. This AI, it's not just like a cool trick, it's a fundamental shift.
Totally. And the newsletter mentioned this too, but it's not just artists and photographers who are paying attention. Regulatory bodies are getting involved too.
Oh yeah, like who?
Well, the U.S. Copyright Office, for one. They're already looking into how AI impacts copyright law. And over in the EU, they have their AI Act. It's still in development, but it's supposed to address all these ethical and legal challenges that AI brings up.
Makes sense. They got to get ahead of this stuff before it's too late.
Exactly. And this whole controversy, it could actually influence how these regulations are shaped. I mean, Gemini is kind of a test case, right?
Yeah, it's like a preview of what's to come. AI that can just erase proof of ownership. It has the potential to upend everything.
So, I guess this is where I ask,
Yeah.
why should all of this matter to someone who maybe isn't a professional artist or photographer?
That's the key question, right? Because this isn't just about protecting images. It's about how we value and protect creative work online, period. Think about it. The music you listen to, the articles you read, even the memes you share, those are all products of someone's creativity. And if technology makes it easier to just steal that work, to profit from it without permission.
It could stifle creativity overall. People won't want to share their work if they know it's just going to get ripped off.
Exactly. And it also raises questions about the role of tech companies in all of this. I mean, should they be allowed to just release potentially harmful tools just because they can? What kind of responsibility do they have to prevent misuse?
These are tough questions. No easy answers.
Definitely not. But it's something we need to talk about. As AI gets more powerful, these questions are only going to get more urgent.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave everyone with this thought. If watermarks become unreliable, how else can we protect creative work in the age of AI? It's a question that doesn't have an easy answer, but is one we all need to start thinking about.
It's a question for all of us, for sure.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.